Arab governments that they gave unfettered moral and political support. This is an indictment. Because how can, if Professor is not right, how can governments give such a government an unfettered moral and political support when it has been bombing its innocent people by bombs inside their villages, when it has now about 3,500,000 people in the internally displaced camps, when there are nearly 500,000 people who have crossed the boundaries. They are in Chad, they are in Central Africa, when there are young men and women who were able, who immigrated from Sudan. Some are in Australia, some are in Britain, some everywhere. How can they support with give unfettered support to such a government? Don't forget, is all the international community wrong? Last year and this year, there were demonstrations in 37 countries in support of the people of Darfur. Are all these people wrong and the government is right? I think the professor's question is a very good question, because in our third world and the world, the human being is not valuable.
All right, very briefly, Ambassador.
Briefly, if
just
I
very
may,
briefly.
we should understand the statement of the distinguished Mr. Diraige within the context that he represents opposition. So we have just noticed that he increased the number from 2 million to 3.5 million. It is a false statement about the number of refugees. According to the records of the United Nations, there are about 2 million displaced and refugees. And also when Nadim talked about those killed, 200,000, Nadim forgot that his organization, ICJ, was indicted in the United Kingdom just last year for using the issue of Darfur politically to collect funds.
All right, we're going to
and there is a lot of disinformation. We are talking about 9,000 casualties, and that number is yet to be confirmed.
All right, Ambassador,
about 200 million. It is
Did you count them, Mr. Ambassador? Did you count them, the 9,000? Where is this figure from?
This is the government estimation.
All right.
I give you the UN estimation.
Okay, we're moving on now. Question in the front row, please. Yousuf.
Mr. Nadim is repeating, you are repeating the claim of 200,000 people who have been killed in the war. This audience will be very happy if you could tomorrow publish the names of only 200, not 200,000. With the names and their villages, please. We will be very happy to see that in your website of your organization.
Nadim Hasbani.
Okay, the problem is the Sudanese government doesn't allow any media to go to Darfur. That's why you have this issue on numbers. However, people in the refugees, they testify and tell you, my family, my 3-4 children were killed in front of my eyes. I have the testimonies on video. It's on the Crisis Group website. I will send you the link if you like me to. People who testify how they were raped, killed. What would you say if your sister or wife is raped? Do you do nothing about it? There are thousands of cases like that who are documented. It happened in Darfur, and it happened because of the government support. And further to that, this is a major catastrophe. You have Muslims killing Muslims in Darfur. That's why we say the West should not meddle in it. Okay, but for Muslims, shouldn't they, at the religious duty, do something about it? Say something about it. Send aid. What are the figures of aid sent to Darfur? I can tell you what Canada sent. $150 million in aid. Canada is 20 to 25 million people. The Arab world is 250 million people.
Let's let the questioner come back here. Let's let the questioner come back.
Thank you, Nadim, for the same kind of lectures we used to hear from the media in the West. I think we had enough of that one.
Thank you. Lady in the third row. If you could stand up, please. We'll get a microphone to you.
Thank you. What makes you think we haven't cared? You could just suggest some things that we could do more to help.
Nadim Hasbani.
Well, we should differentiate between two things. What the Arab governments have done and what the people have done. There was a Zorbi poll last year, in 2007, that was made in 4 different Arab countries, asking people about Darfur if they care. You know, over the phone, they call you at home. And people said, yes, we do care, but we don't know what's happening. We want to send aid, but we don't know how to do it. Because people are sensitive to what's happening, but governments are not. That's a major issue. What governments should do is politically stop supporting the Sudanese government for killing its own people. He's killing his own population. This is unacceptable. then what we should do as human beings, as part of the Arab society, is try to help the other by sending donations, by sending aid through the Red Crescent and other organizations. And this has not been done yet.
All right. Gentleman in the fourth row there. You, sir.
My question is for Mr. Zeid and Mr. Sirajuddin. You're saying that the Arab countries are actually caring about Darfur, but about 1 year ago, hundreds of Darfurian refugees went to Egypt and gathered in the center of Egypt, I think in January. And what did the Egyptian government do about this? They splashed the people with water, cold water, in the middle of January. And hundreds of people died. And about 50% of those people went to Israel. And there they found the compassion and food and shelters that they needed. Why didn't these shelters and food were provided by the Egyptian government?
Sabban?
Thank you very much for this question. This is very important. What you are saying that the Egyptian government is responsible for that, this must be revised. It is not the responsibility of the Egyptian government. It was and I was personally involved in this, it was a shared responsibility. It was
shared between who?